And we are back. In about 5 minutes, we will be seeing our second match of the day, this time in the Sacred Flames League, the first match between all of the players, between Damo and Ant. Now, both of these teams, very interesting because they had two kind of different approaches to this draft. With Anservis having the second overall pick, they decided to opt for going for King Gambit. Damo had the 10th overall pick, and due to the fact that this is a snake draft format, they also get two back-to-back picks. Damo ends up taking the Mega Charizard Y and Aerodactyl. This Aerodactyl is one of the fastest Tailwind setters in the game. In fact, they are the fastest if you don't count any of the Prankster Pokemon. They also pick up the Garchomp for 20, 18, and 19 points, as well as taking the regular Floette. Meanwhile, Anservis themselves took the Mega version of the Floette for 20 points. The regular Floette is only 12 points, so that is an 8-point difference. However, you can see immediately with these stats that aside from the fact that Fairy Aura is such a strong, powerful ability, multiplying every single Fairy type damage by 1.33x, you can also see the special attack increase from 125 to 155. Coming into this match, we see the Mega Charizard Y, the Aerodactyl, the Garchomp come out, as well as regular Floette from Damo Cheeks, their first 4 picks. However, not following along with the trend, they bring the Roserade and the Simisear, two very late picks, both 1-point Pokemon into this match. And Shivers brings the Mega Floette, the King Gambit, and the Alolan Ninetales. The pivoting here is going to be extremely crucial because both Alolan Ninetales and the Mega Charizard Y would love to see their own weathers being set up here. The Aurora Veil for the Ninetales and fire boosted moves for the Charizard Y. Volcarona here is pretty good. It's pretty resistant into a lot of your Pokemon here, only really weak into the Aerodactyl and the Garchomp, which is something to be wary about. The Rotom Wash, pretty good into the 2 fire types, as well as the Garchomp here, and the Aerodactyl, which is all weak to water. So how they navigate dealing with the Rotom Wash will be very crucial. The Rotom Wash itself also can run many different sets with potentially Choice Scarf Trick, as well as supportive move sets, or just full raw damage. However, they do bring out the Lycanroc Midnight. This is a 1-point Pokemon, interestingly enough, but it is a rock type that is super effective into a couple of their strong Pokemon, with the Alolan Ninetales immediately setting up the snow. Now, even if they bring in the Mega Charizard Y here, they will need to wait a turn before it can Mega Evolve and actually set Drought. So for now, this is pretty much a guaranteed Aurora Veil unless Damo Cheeks can stop it. Roserade here, I believe Roserade has access to Sleep Powder, which is pretty crucial. It only has 90 base speed, but the Sleep Powder could be very scary. Sleep is the best status move in this game. Rotom Wash comes out in place of the Midnight Dusk, while the Aerodactyl sets up Tailwind and the speed control in this game. A Leaf Storm into the Rotom Wash predicts the switch, and that is an OHKO on the very first round. A special attack, Harsh Drop, but that is extremely huge as Rotom Wash is probably the #1 answer for this current Damo team. And the White Herb resets the special attack drop, while a huge Blizzard does huge damage to both the Aerodactyl and the Roserade. However, we see with the advantage of the 130 base speed Aerodactyl immediately setting up Tailwind, allowing the Roserade to move very rarely. Mega Floette comes in here. Both of these Pokemon will be slower. There's a couple of different things that we could see here. We could see a double up into the Mega Floette. We could see a Rock Slide come out trying to deal with this Alolan Ninetales. It did not set up Aurora Veil, so it is definitely a lot weaker, especially since it is not the most bulky Pokemon. However, this Roserade without the minus special attack drop is still a very scary threat. We have seen all of Protect comes out from the Mega Floette. A Rock Slide trying to hit, and it does connect onto the Alolan Ninetales. Does not kill. I believe, even though it's super effective, I believe this is a very bulky version of Alolan Ninetales, probably not investing the most, and it doubles into the Alolan Ninetales, predicting the Protect from the Mega Floette. I believe if the Mega Floette didn't protect her, that would have been two kills onto both if they clicked a simple Dazzling Gleam. The minute the Lycanroc Dusk does come back out. It is now 4-2, although both Pokemon are low. That comes out from the Aerodactyl, likely intending to set up a second Tailwind very shortly and not wanting to die this turn. A Leaf Storm into it, the White Herb preventing the -2 special attack drop. Now Oko's the Lycanroc. It is not Choice Scarf, which is very important to know here, as I believe Damo mentioned that they thought that this Lycanroc would be a Choice Scarfed one, but actually it could still be due to Tailwind having been set up. Is Tailwind still active? You missed the one. Yeah. The Rotom Wash switched in for the Lycanroc, and the Roserade, the 1-point Roserade, just sent a 120 base power Leaf Storm into the Lycanroc slot, and it just OHKO'd the Rotom Wash as it switched in. A Toxic onto the Mega Floette, revealing the Toxic on the Roserade, ensuring that they will be able to win this battle with the War of Attrition just by spamming Protects. The Toxic does build up extremely quickly. In a 4v2, this is very hard to win. Does not go for the Dazzling Gleam, so this Aerodactyl is still alive. Tailwind finally peters out. If this is a Choice Scarf Lycanroc, actually, Lycanroc is not the fastest Pokemon. In fact, it is slower than the Roserade and it is slower than the Aerodactyl, so it is possible that it is still Choice Scarfed. Revealing the Mega Charizard Y here. At this point, it's pretty much just crucial to know if there's any surprise moves that will be shown here, although I don't really expect it to. It feels like a very clean, simple game for this. Tailwind setting up here, getting back to speed control. Interestingly, the Mega Floette does have Psychic here, which I believe is not very good into any of these Pokemon, as none of them are really weak to Psychic. The Psychic type, oh, actually, no, the Roserade is weak to Psychic types due to its poison typing. I forgot that Roserade was a poison type. A Rock Slide connects, and that is game 1 over. Game 1 to damn cheeks. Some interesting results here. I would say my main takeaways would probably be, though I'd say the thing that caused Antrivers to lose this game was definitely just the switch into the Rotom Wash, giving a free OHKO for the Roserade, which pretty much just completely changed the momentum of the game. And at that point, it's already extremely hard to come back just because the Rotom Wash is very pivotal into dealing with a lot of the Pokemon on the Damo side. I'm expecting a different lead here from Ant. I think Damo might go for the same lead, or perhaps goes for something like Aerodactyl alongside Floette if they want to really try and deal with this Rotom Wash extremely early. Brody, yes. However, I unfortunately do not have access to my Switch right now, and I am currently watching this from the view of Guden's stream, or they are currently screen sharing to me, so I actually can't check for myself. If I could, I would. It's all good. All right, heading into the second match here. A different lead comes out from Damage Chase, bringing out the Simi Sage. Or Simisear, sorry. While the same lead comes out from the Ant side. This is, I think, a better lead for Ant though, however, because now there is no Roserade to threaten the Lycanroc or the Rotom Wash immediately. Now it is a Simisear. The Simisear here does likely have Fake Out because all of the three monkeys have Fake Out. Other than that, the Simisear doesn't, I believe, has access to, well, yep, it has access to both Will-O-Wisp and Taunt. It also has a pretty high speed. It has 101 speed, which does outspeed the Lycanroc here. Aurora Veil comes out, ensuring that this team will be able to survive a lot longer. The Fake Out from the Simisear as Aerodactyl, I believe, sets up Tailwind. Psychic Fang comes out, breaking the screens here and doing a little bit of damage into the Alolan Ninetales, while the Will-O-Wisp comes out onto the Lycanroc, thus the Tailwind, ensuring that the Simisear can outspeed. We aren't really sure if this is a Choice Scarf Lycanroc or if it is something else. However, the 1/2 burn is super strong into this physical attacker, ensuring that it doesn't kill the Aerodactyl, which has the berry, the Chardy Berry, and the burn from the Will-O-Wisp. Encore onto the Simisear. Since the Simisear is faster than the Ninetales, so it doesn't lock it into Fake Out, but it does lock it into Will-O-Wisp. I believe that is Shiny Ninetales, yes. Rock Slide here into both of them, connects onto both of them. Will we see a flinch here? A flinch here would be absolutely massive. A Will-O-Wisp onto the Ninetales. This won't do as much as it would do to the Lycanroc, but it's still good for that passive burn damage. Rock Slide connects onto both, doesn't kill the Aerodactyl, doesn't kill the Simisear either. The burn is doing so much damage here, in order to make sure that both of them are able to live these super effective Rock Slides. Garchomp comes out here over the Simisear while the Lycanroc comes back, bringing out the Rotom Wash. This is honestly a great switch. While takes out the Aerodactyl, the Garchomp can't really click Earthquake here. It can in order to kill the Alolan Ninetales. However, with the Levitate ability of the Rotom Wash is in fact immune to any ground type moves that the Garchomp may have. Bringing out the Charizard here, likely setting up the Drought here, which will weaken all of the Rotom Wash's water type moves. We will see what kind of moves this Rotom Wash has. It could have so many different moves. It could have Hydro Pump, it could have supportive attacking movesets, it could have Trick, it could have Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp. Tailwind, I believe this is also the last turn of Tailwind. The Ninetales comes back, likely trying to regain weather control after this Charizard Mega Evolves, while the Lycanroc comes back out. At this point, we have not seen the final Pokemon of Ant's side, so depending on who it is, it could be very crucial. Iron Head into the Lycanroc slot does in fact kill. We'll see if this Charizard can do any meaningful damage to the Rotom Wash. A Solar Beam comes out, the Grass type super effective move in the sun. It automatically hits, does not have any charge time, 120 base power, and it kills the Rotom Wash. Alolan Ninetales will come out and we will see the final Pokemon on Ant's side. However, it is now a 3 versus 2. The Volcarona comes out. This Volcarona is not super great into the Garchomp. If the Garchomp has Earthquake here, which I do predict considering they brought both Charizard and Aerodactyl, it likely has Earthquake. It will hit it for neutral damage. And currently only has 2 Pokemon left alive. A Rage Powder trying to make sure that this Ninetales lives while they hit an Encore onto the Charizard. The Charizard is now locked into Solar Beam, which does in fact have a charge timer, but the Rock Slide comes out, OHKOing both of their Pokemon to 4x weakness from the Volcarona, and that is GG. Damo Cheeks takes the 2-0 over Ant, and that is game. Clean victory here, the early speed control with the Tailwind from the very fast Aerodactyl, super hard to manage. The Rock Slides from both the Garchomp and the Aerodactyl were super effective into many of the Pokemon that were brought here. And that is all of the matches for today. Thank you all, and we will see you next time.